Hello and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that shot JR. Only we didn't call him JR, we called him Dr. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been reading Homer's The Iliad, and it is fascinating, all about the Trojan War. But apparently it wasn't actually fought by dudes, it was fought by strings and little tokens that were placed all around this kooky Greek and Trojan board. At least that's how it plays out in Osprey Games' Agamemnon. In Agamemnon, from Osprey Games, two players take on the roles of the Greeks and the Trojans in the Trojan War. But that is really about the only thing that has to do with the Trojan War. This is a pretty abstract game. Essentially, you're given a game board that has numerous open circle spots, places for tokens, and then you have many strings along the board. Now, strings are these different color and shaped little tokens, rectangular tokens, that connect the circles on the game board. Now, there's three different kinds of strings. Essentially, there's strings that are activated by leaders, strings that are activated by warriors, and strings that are just kind of activated by how many of whatever you have on the board. And how it works is this. At the beginning of the game, you place all of the strings on their designated areas on the game board. And then, essentially, you take turns placing tokens. But what you do is you mix up all of your tokens. Your tokens have warriors, they have the leaders, they have some other tokens I'll mention in a moment. And you draw them, and you draw two at a time, and you place them down. On the first turn, the first player just draws one, but after that, players draw two, and then they place them where they want to place them on the board. Now, leaders are important because leaders are going to connect the leadership strings. And what you're trying to do is create long, unbroken strings of leadership. But of course, they only go so far. Now, at the end of the game, whoever has the highest ranking leader, that is to say, a leader who has an A, a B, a C, or a D, the higher the letter, that is to say, the closer to A the letter, the more powerful he is, the more influential he is, and the more likely he is to win that string. Next, there are the warriors, and the warriors are tokens that have arrows. They have numbers of arrows, and you place them in the military strings. Now, leaders have some arrows on them too, so they can contribute to the military strings, but primarily you're laying these military strings down because the number of arrows, whoever has the most arrows at the end of the game, they are going to collect that string, that long unbroken string. So there are also the Weaver tokens. There's two different kinds of Weaver tokens. One is the Warp Weaver token. The Warp Weaver token can allow you to actually switch two of the strings. You can move two of the strings, trade places. This is going to kind of throw some strategies for a loop here. Next, you have the Weft tokens, and the Weft essentially cut strings in two. So if you have a long, unbroken military string, if you place a Weft in the middle, it's going to cut them in two, and then, of course, it's going to break it into different string sections. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to go back and forth playing all of your tokens, your military, your leadership, your weavers. You're playing them, like I say, two at a time until the very end of the game. And then you have scoring. Now, what you do is, again, you look at all of the leadership strings. You find long, unbroken leadership strings, and whoever has the highest ranking leader claims all of those from the string. Next, you look at the military. You see how many total number of spears you have. That includes from your military tokens and any spears that you have on leaders. And whoever has the most spears on a given military string claims that military string. Now, for the other string here, that is neither the military nor the leadership, essentially it's whoever has placed the most kinds of their tokens. Whoever color has the most tokens along that string, they win that. Now, if there is a tie for any of these string win conditions, neither side gets to take the string. Once you've claimed all the string tokens from all of the strings, you simply count them. Whoever has the most strings wins Agamemnon. So that is basically Agamemnon in a nutshell. There is some variance. You can use the other side of the board that gives you some options and a few little tweaks and different things you can do. But I just want to talk about the base game here. So I played this a few times now. And, you know, I got to tell you, if you are a fan of the show, if you've watched any of my reviews or any of my top 10 lists, you know, I love theme. Theme. I love theme. And Agamemnon is abstract. The theme with the Trojan War is very lightly painted on. Now, there are some abstract games I like quite a bit. There are a few that I really, really enjoy. And I'll tell you right now, Agamemnon is one of them. I had a lot of fun with Agamemnon. It is a quick game. You're playing this game, once you know how to play it, you're playing this game in 15 minutes. It's quick, but there's a strategy there. You have to decide, okay, what is going to serve me best here? Do I want to go for those military strings? Do I want to go for the leadership strings? And how best effectively to use them? Oh, he laid down a B leader. Well, I've got an A leader. Should I put that in the same string so I can claim it? Or should I go somewhere else? And what's he going to pull out next? Is he going to pull out an A and just negate me so neither of us can get a string? How's that going to play out? And same thing with the spears, you know? Well, I've got a 3 spear token here, or a 6 spear token, whatever, and I don't know what kind of spear token he's going to play. And do we, is he going to get the jump on me, in which case I've wasted this really powerful spear token. So there's a lot of strategic possibilities. You are constantly going back and reassessing and relooking at different parts of the board, different areas where you can place your units, and you don't know what the units are when they come up, because it's a kind of a blind draw here. They do say there's kind of a variant you can play where you have everything revealed and you get to choose, but they say that makes for a much, much longer game, and frankly, it didn't sound like a lot of fun. To me, I like the idea of playing this game, making the best possible moves you can with the limited resources you have at any given time. I really liked Agamemnon. It's a very fun, very quick, very strategic 2-player abstract game. I think for if this was an hour-long game, no, thank you. But given how quick it is, it's great. It's really a fun game. The recommendation from the Discriminating Gamer for Agamemnon is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer. Agamemnon? Yes.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
As a main player, when you win, now I'm like. As a main player.
Now she's like that.
Shut up! As your main player, when you win an encounter,